Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Perf. In this one, we have Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montague. Carolina is 11-4 overall as a pro, 3-2 in her last 5, while Montague is going to be her UFC debut. She's 6-0 as a pro. All of her fights have ended via finish, rear naked choke. For Carolina, she was on a 2-fight skid, getting knocked out by Molly McCann and lost a close fight to Joanne Wood, but is now riding a 3-fight win streak, being Ivana Petrovic, Julian Stoliarenko, and Lucia Poldovia. I apologize if I butchered that last name. So as I mentioned, this is going to be Montague's UFC debut, but she has some high-level experience. She's fought in the PFL, she's fought in Bellator, most of her fights are actually from the PFL, and is with a really good team at American Top Team. And like I said, all 6 of her wins have ended via finish, every single one of them by rear naked choke. Now, watching her fights in the PFL, there's clearly a lot of skill in her ground game, and clearly a lot of holes that can be exploited in her stand-up game. On the feet, she's there to be hit. Her hands are sometimes by her head, most of the time they're down here. She throws mostly teep kicks and side kicks to keep at range until she shoots for the takedown. She doesn't really have much head movement to her, and not really too much footwork either. She can be hit, and I've seen her get cracked a few times. But she's got a pretty good chin. But once it gets to the ground, it's her world. Now, I've seen her in trouble. One of her fights, she had gotten caught in a really deep darts choke, but was very calm, fought the hands, kept space to breathe, and eventually got out and took the back and got a rear naked choke. She is a very good back taker, and she's very good at flattening her opponents out and just cinching up the rear naked choke, and at that point it's a wrap. Her takedowns are very powerful, and she's able to just lift up a lot of her opponents and just slam them, or get the trip takedown as well. Meanwhile, Carolina is a fighter I'd say is improving fight by fight. She's certainly using her tools and attributes better. At like 5'7" with a 69-inch reach, she has most of her reach usually beats a lot of her opponents, and she's able to keep them at range, stifle them in the clinch, kind of like lull the action, but keep herself safe as well. Like I said, at the time when Molly McCann just destroyed her with a spinning back elbow, which is crazy to think about, it seemed like she was kind of done, especially after losing the Wood, but like I said, she's improved her takedown defense. She's at least better at stuffing takedowns. Like against Julian Stoliarenko, who, for a lot of her deficiencies, does have a dangerous grappling game, especially her arm bars. Carolina fought out of the takedown very well, was able to get back up, actually got the crucifix and led to a TKO victory. Now, granted, I do believe part of that was due to when it looked like Stoliarenko rolled her ankle, but still, it was impressive work. Still, though, I will say Montague, like I said, she's a very strong woman. There is a factor in this fight that's very important to keep in mind. Montague has fought at the PFL's featherweight division. She's only ever fought at 145. UFC doesn't really have the featherweight division anymore, and this fight is going to be at flyweight. So she's going to cut 20 pounds more than what she would normally have to in her fights. Now, granted, it doesn't look like she cuts crazy amount to make featherweight. It might just be roughly around her natural weight class, but to now go from that to cutting 20 pounds is pretty big. I'm really nervous to see how she looks on the scales, because she looks like death, like how Kayla Harrison has looked. There's some concerns, which is why these odds kind of baffle me. Montague is a minus 220 to the plus 175 Carolina. When I first saw these odds, I was kind of shocked, and then doing more research. Say this was at Montague's weight class, right? This was at featherweight. No, I understand it. She's very strong, can easily outmuscle Carolina, get her down, and submit her. I can see it all happening relatively fast. But if, that being said, if we're on the feet, Carolina is going to be the better striker. She's going to use her range much better than most of her other opponents, I think, Montague. But now cutting these 20 pounds to make flyweight, that's why I don't like these odds either. If they were closer, or say like plus 150 or something, like Montague being the favorite, I understand. She's very high level grappler. Very good. She trains with a good team, like I said, at ATT, and is riding a hot streak of momentum, undefeated, all finishes. It's kind of rare when you see that in a women's prospect, more or less. But still, high level, and looks like she's worth the filler to try in the UFC. But you're 2-1 favorite, and you're fighting in a weight class you've never fought before. Not just that, but you're cutting a lot of weight now that we've never seen you cut. Just makes me wonder how well will she perform, because if the weight cut really drains her, then her gas tank's not going to be the same. She may not be as strong as she used to be. Those are some concerns that I really have in this fight. And it's like, do I pick Carolina? Because I can see while this fight's on the feet, her winning. Just keep Montague at range, deny her the takedowns, stay safe in the clinch, avoid the trips, and just fight smart, patiently, and tactical. Not go for the finish, but it's just like cruise to a decision. But at the same time, I understand why Montague could win. Like, let's say this weight cut doesn't badly drain her. She doesn't look like, death's door, none of that. And she seems like healthy, filled out, ripped, and all that. Then I could see her kind of steamrolling Carolina once this fight gets to the mat, because I'm guaranteeing you she can get that submission once this fight hits the floor. Like I mentioned, Carolina's gone better with her takedown defense and her offensive wrestling game, but I would favor Montague greatly in the grappling. God, this is so tough to pick with this type of fight. It's a risk, but I think I might go with Carolina. I just can't really say for certain Montague's gonna do well with the weight cut. Now, my opinion can easily change, and if anybody's picking Carolina, they can easily change their mind too. Like, it really depends on how we look at the scales, because once we see Montague at the scales, like, if she looks healthy and fine, then yeah, I might flip pick and pick her. But right now, with the very unknown variability in that, and the fact that I've seen Carolina grow and become better as each fight progresses, not to mention I do think she's just overall better on the feet. It just leads to many openings where I see she can exploit, and it's not like, and like I said, I know I've been saying she might get ragdoll, but if she's able to defend the takedowns much better than even I'm thinking, then I see her winning on the feet. Might even reverse position, I don't know. I mean, we see Montague get some bad moments in the grappling, for sure. So maybe reversing positions is not out of the realm of possibility. So that being said, I am going to go with Luana Carolina, and I'm going to pick her via decision. But I'm telling you now, if Montague is healthy on the scales, then she'll probably win by submission. With that said, that has been my pick for this matchup. If you like the video, comment and subscribe. Next up, we'll have Jimmy Malarkey versus Ronaldo Bolaño. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for watching. Take care.